All right, guys. Hey, this is Jeff Hobbs, man. Another edition of the Zero Hour. Tonight, man, I've got an awesome interview for you guys. I am here with a gentleman who has been a professional fighter since 2010, 14-time UFC vet, a Nashville native, Franklin High School graduate, a person I've known personally for about 12 years, the one and only Mr. Dustin Ortiz. Dustin, how you doing tonight, man?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just got back to the house from training, so settling in, gonna get something to eat. Probably go back to the gym and do a little cardio, sit in the sauna, make that
Nice.
weight. What are we out like a couple
Dude, we're like,
days now?
yeah, like tomorrow's
Nine?
Saturday. Tomorrow's Saturday, so we're 8 days away, man. 7 days.
8.
Yeah, well, yeah, a full week. 7 days before weigh-ins, man. So yeah, one week before you step on the scale again. Where you at? What's the surroundings, man? You're not in Nashville right now, are you?
No, so the surroundings right now is just the living room. Slash I got the refrigerator right there.
Yeah.
Kitchen. But I am in Denver, Colorado. So
Oh
been
wow.
out here since January. Been back home. I went back home a little bit this summer. Did some work, hung out, visit friends, family, whole 9 yards. And then just came back out here, man. I've been digging the Colorado deal.
Yeah, a lot of things about Colorado to dig if you are if you're into some certain things, man. But I know you're a professional athlete. You don't deviate from probably a pretty strict diet and things you put in your body. But yeah, definitely an odd place if for people that have never gone to Denver. If you're not used to it, I went out there for a RFA fight once, and just the smell in the air is a little different in Denver when you walk into stores and stuff or walk into bars. Uh,
Yeah.
so wow. So you're out there. Did I hear you're cornering somebody this weekend, or you've got a teammate that you're working with?
Yeah, I actually just got back today actually from Nebraska. I went out there and cornered my teammate and friend Caleb Crump. He went out there, got the first round rear naked choke. Shout out to him. Been busting his butt, working super hard. Had a couple coaches fall through, wasn't able to make it. So I'm, constantly trying to be a better person, better friend. And he had asked me to corner him. I'm like, dude, I'm like in the tail end of my camp. I'm cutting weight. I'm like, this is
You
very
might not
inconvenient, but
might not be the nicest
it's what
person in the
friends
world
do.
right now.
So
Yeah.
what's up?
I say you might not be the nicest person in the world right now at the end of a camp.
Yeah, yeah. So he asked, asking you shall receive, and I was just, man, so thankful that I could be there for him. And he went out there, got the job done dominantly. So I was super happy for that, and got back, jumped into sparring earlier, and here we are.
Well, I can say for as long as I've known you, that's been one thing about you. You've always been the consummate teammate, no matter what gym you're at, no matter what crew or gym you represent. You've always been, like I
Yeah,
said, the consummate teammate. Something that's always stood out. One of the most humble people I've ever met. Definitely one of the things that have stood out the most about you. But man, let's jump into this interview, man. So, like you said, 1 week away from stepping on the scale,
hmm,
coming back to Nashville for the underground. Now, I feel like I haven't seen you forever because we just saw each other in July, but before that, it had been years since we had,
yeah,
really gotten to see each other, man. But you were in Nashville for Underground One, and you had a lot of teammates as far as your management company on that card. Of course, it's hometown for you. What
yeah.
was it about that event that kind of got the wheels turning? And for me to get that phone call from your manager, from Steve, and just saying, so what would you guys think if Dustin wanted to come back home and fight for his friends and family one more time in Nashville? What was it? And because, like I said, man, you just came from the UFC. You went and dipped your toe overseas for Brave.
Yeah.
Me personally, I was like, is that even possible? And they were like, what if he makes it possible? How'd this happen, man?
Man, anything is possible. Anything is possible. It was just kind of uh, I've had a great career. I'm super happy with it. The inner me always challenging myself is like, there's more. There's more we can do. I've gone from like me against other guys into my life where it's like me against myself, and it's just like I wanna fight, I wanna get after it, I wanna do it while I can. And it was just brave. It's overseas, there's a lot of difficulties getting Americans over there with COVID and everything. It's still a thing, it's still very real, it's still complicating issues. And I just wasn't getting the amount of fights that I really wanted with them. I'm still signed with them, still doing the thing. Hopefully we'll get one more fight sometime soon. But it was just kind of like, man, let's see if we can get a one-off fight, and if we can, let's make it back home, because I'm not sure where my career is going. I'm kind of taking it fight by fight, feeling, how my body feels. I've been doing this for a very long time, been cutting weight for a very long time. And for anybody who's cut weight, it's not the funnest thing to do. That's why all fighters say the hard part is over after cutting weight, making weight. And realistically, that shouldn't be the hardest part. The fight when you're getting punched in the face should be the hardest part. So I don't know. There's a lot of miles on the body. There's a lot of question when you get to a certain point in your career, you start questioning everything. How are you feeling, what you're doing, what your goals are now. You always got to reset those kind of things. So there was just something in me. There's just like desire to fight back home at least one more time. There's a lot of people that never made it to my fights, always wanted to. It's like, man, they've seen it on TV, this and that. And it was just like, well, kind of presented it to Steve and was like, hey, well, what about this? And he's like, are you serious? And he's like, their show is, their next one, November 20th. I was like, let's make it happen. And then him being the guy he is, here we are, contract signed.
Here we are, because, for me, knowing how much I kind of have to do with that card, I didn't know where he was going when he called. And like I said, he was like, and he has his way of, leading you to what he needs, what he's trying to get to.
Yeah.
And even for me, I was like, are you serious? Like for real? And he's like, yeah, for real. And and I've had a lot of people lately, when I've talked to them about the main event and the fact that you were on it. And of course, I think everybody is like, why? Like, why would he do that? Like,
yeah.
And explaining to him, you've been here twice in Nashville for the UFC, 2 cards. And I explained to him, I really felt like I understood why you were doing this. And I've actually had the pleasure of cornering, a UFC fighter, once in Dallas, Texas. Courtney Casey granted me the opportunity to corner. And I was so surprised. You may have fought in Nashville and your friends and family may have been able to come, but people don't realize there's such a difference between fighting for the UFC in a stadium where they sequester you like a damn jury. Like, you don't get to come out of the cage and mingle with your fans. You don't get to go shake hands and hug your family member. They keep you so guarded away from the fans in attendance. It's almost like not fighting at home, because you don't get to walk to, you don't get to go back, get your clothes on and grab a beer and go sit in the crowd and hang out. So, is that something that, again, we know you have fought in Nashville before in the UFC.
Yeah.
And we know your roots were here, but is that something that you really wanted to get back to, is when this fight is over, I get to go hug my damn family. I get to go shake my friends' hands and enjoy, what just happened with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, you said it perfectly. That was very thought out, because just watching the fights last night, it's a local show. Everybody from the hometown is there, and the fighters they really get to feel that cheer, that closeness. It's more intimate when it's just the venue is smaller, right? And you really feel the energy then, and you get to walk out and like your people are right there. They're waiting for you to cheer you, to hug you, to all that stuff. And it's a little bit better. I don't want to say better. it's a different, more homey feeling when the people that support you are right there, and uh they get to overwhelm you with like congratulations after that fight, support, whatever it may be.
Right. You
It's
don't have to go
definitely
to
a
the locker
different
room.
feeling.
Yeah,
What's
you don't
up?
have to go to the locker room when it's over. You can
Yeah, you don't
stay.
have to go to the locker room. And that was the
Yeah.
thing about Nashville too. When I fought here, it's like the first time against Willie Gates, it was amazing. I had a great fight. But then I did the press conference after, so everybody's at the after party, like texting me, hitting me up, like, "Where are you at? How long is it gonna take?" And I was like, "Hey, this is like obligations. This
Mhm.
is this is part of the job." And it ended up being like super late before I even had to go back. I wanted to shower, um, make sure some food was there ready for me because I'm starving at this point in time. Uh, and it's not really like that at these sort of fights. You get to go out, you get to shake hands, you get to see everybody, and then you go to the locker room, either change, shower, whatever, head back to the hotel quick, and then you're out with everybody within half an hour. But with the UFC, yeah, you got to go back. You have to wait for the press conference to start. You got to answer all these questions until they're completely done. Thankfully, we were able just to go straight back to the hotel. We didn't have to like wait on a bus or anything like that. But that makes the process even longer. So man, it's just a different feel. It really is a different feel when your boy's hitting you up like, dude, we got a table, and it's like,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I'm talking about. It just makes it that much more rewarding.
And the table is literally 10 feet from the cage. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry in advance, right? It's like, okay, they're about to get wild, and that's just like the ultimate support. And these are dudes and people that I've gone to high school with. So this is literally the first venue that I've ever fought at, right? And it's
that's
like,
what I've that's what I've
not a
explained
lot
to
of people,
people.
they don't get that opportunity, right? So it's like, man, I'm healthy, I'm good to go. This is every fight is the most important fight, right? And so it doesn't really matter for me and where I'm at in my career and in my life. That's kind of, I'm doing it for fulfillment for me, and people enjoy watching me do what I enjoy doing, right? So
Right.
and they get to be that close and that supportive, like, it's amazing, really.
Yeah, and explaining to people, a lot of people go quote unquote home, go home to fight or go back to the city they're from or where it all started. But you are literally going back where it all started. You are going back to the Tennessee State Fairgrounds,
Yeah.
where it literally. Now, granted, it's not the same building because they tore it down, but from the
Okay.
parking lot of the new building, you can see the hillside where the old venue used to be. So you are truly back where it all started, going back
Yeah.
home where it all started, a complete 360, if you will,
Hmm.
just coming back around. Now, there's just something so nostalgic about it. We had such good memories in that old venue, man.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
no heat in the winter, sweltering hot in the summer, a
Yeah.
locker room probably the size of your clothes closet.
Yep.
Um, there's a lot of history in that building, even back in the old 70s with pro wrestling. So there's just something so um, just deep, I feel, about this whole experience that we're
Hmm.
about to go through, man. And like you said, um, when you were there before 10 years ago, there was a lot of people that didn't have the opportunity then. They were younger. Some of the younger family members, they didn't get to go to them then. And then you made it, on the big show, and now all your fights are away. So this is still going to be a first for probably a lot of people who didn't get to see you, when it all
Yeah.
started. The only thing I'm upset about is that, that you didn't have enough time to prepare and grow the fro back out for this fight. I mean, that's the only thing that would have made it better.
Yeah.
Is we could have found a way to get the fro back for this one, but I'm not going to be
So,
too.
okay. So wait. I mean, this is not the pro. I'm just
It's
adjusting
not
my hat.
quite there. It's not quite
Um,
there.
so I told Steve, and you can take this up with him, that I was growing it back out because, let's see, I fought in April.
Hmm.
So I got a hair April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We're in November. 7 months it was growing out. I had this thing like
Got it
this.
nice,
And I
looking
told
good.
Steve that I was going to do that. And he said, I better not. So,
He's
dude,
giving you
I
career
literally
moves.
like I have pictures on my phone of an afro, just like it. Not as luscious as it was, but
Right.
it was
Right.
up there, man. And I cut it, and I don't regret it because like when you have an afro when you're training, it's not the most convenient, and it gets in the way, and it's I do enjoy looking good from time to time as
But
best as I can.
which was worse? Which was worse, the fro or the dreads?
Dreads by far,
By
yeah.
far.
But the only reason is because they just got stuck in everything,
Right.
like headlocks, things like that. The maintenance was, they smelled good though. Ask Kenny, he knows. Kenny said they smelled good. I got compliments from a lot of people that they look good. It was too much, It was the stage. It was at that point in time, like I literally had a shaved head for the longest time. I think from
Yeah. When I
like
first met you, it was skin.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm like everybody. I felt kind of like everybody had a look, like shaved head, pretty
Right.
stout, solid guy. Oh, he's a fighter. And so I was just like, dude, I'm just gonna grow it out and see what happens. And of course, they were like we all know, just Sherdog had this afro of a
Yeah.
picture for
Just got
Strike
out of
Force,
yeah.
and
The Sure Dog picture. That's the one, man. That's the one. The notorious Sure Dog picture.
yeah. So and then it was just like, well, let's just dread it up, like just get dreadlocks uh and then yeah. But I told myself as soon as I got them, I was like, if this ever hinders a fight,
They're
excuse me,
gone, huh?
then I'm cutting it off, and that's what happened in RFA. I fought for them against Aaron Eli. He had me kind of like in a headlock, but he's laying on my hair, and I couldn't get out, and that was the only thing stopping me. And I was like, okay, after that, I cut it.
Done. Done. Man, I got something right here, man. I know you've seen pictures, but I mean, this bad boy right here.
Yeah, let's see that thing. Put it up in the camera. Look at that beauty.
I'm
Man, look
telling
at
you.
that. Look at that.
I'm telling you, Ortiz is heavy. It is legit. This isn't a overseas Pakistan belt. This isn't a title. This isn't a title.com belt. This is about 10 pounds of stacked metal right here. Uh,
Made in America, huh?
Underground King, man. You saw good friend of yours, and like I said, management mate Charlie Alexander fight for his underground King of the Underground
Mm-hmm.
title last time, man. How bad do you want this thing?
How bad do I want it?
How bad do you want this thing?
We're about to find out, man. I wanted elbows. I wanted punches. I wanted knees. I would throw in a headbutt if I could, man, just to get that thing. I think it's so fitting for the Mr. Stay Chopping Underground King. I just had this conversation with somebody like about there wasn't a lot of people before me from Nashville making it into the UFC to kind of start that journey of mixed martial
Yeah.
arts in Nashville. I was just telling somebody, I'm pretty sure the very first card I fought on was the first sanctioned fight card in the state of Tennessee held
Yeah.
by Nashville MMA.
Mhm.
And so kind of I feel like kind of one of those front runners that went off and did that, and I never like blew up into like a Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley, these guys that are just like um internet whatever sensation type deal superstars in the fight world. But I went on in 14 fights, like you said, 7 years, I believe, in the UFC. That's hard to do. And
Almost
nobody
anything.
showed me the way. I just kind of blazed this trail. And the recognition, like I can go some places and for sure get recognized. But for the most part, it's kind of underground, man. And
Yeah.
the people that know me know me. And it's like, dude, this dude did it. He just walked into the gym, was like, oh, I want to fight. They're like, no, you're not going to be fighting until you're a purple belt. Like 6 months later, they throw me on the card. I'm on the front page of the Tennessean on that following Monday, knocking this dude out. And then 4 years later, I'm in the UFC doing that for years, fastest knockout. And it's just like, man, this dude is the underground king. And the opportunity to fight for that belt, the heaviness. I just feel it, man. I can feel it, and I get super excited
Well,
about it.
and that's what we just thought was so cool about it. It's like, the main event, it shouldn't be about a weight class. It shouldn't be about weight class belts. If you were chosen for the main event, then damn it, then you're just the king of the underground, and there should be a prize every time for no matter who fights in the main event.
Yeah,
You can walk away with something. It has nothing to do with how much you weigh or who's in your division. It's just, damn it, we were chosen for this spot, and one of us is walking out the king of the damn underground. So, I love it. It's going to be hard for me to part with this thing, man, because man,
you do that for me, you part
it's
with it.
pretty, it's pretty, man. But man, there is somebody else driving down or flying down from St. Louis, near St. Louis, Missouri, from Missouri, who wants this damn thing too. Dillon Tolbert, man, I will tell you, setting up a fight for, like you said, 14-time, almost 8-year UFC vet Dustin Ortiz is not fun. It's not an easy task. Especially it'd be different maybe if you were so far removed from your UFC run, but these guys are kind of looking at it and going, wait a second, just 2 fights ago he's fighting Benavidez. Just 3 or 4 fights ago he was fighting the current flyweight champion of the world, man. So
Yeah.
I have to say, hats off to Dillon Tolbert. This is a guy that, a lot of conversations with guys, a lot of guys, just to be honest about the game here, pricing themselves out of this competition because they're like, hell no, I'm not fighting Dustin Ortiz for regional money, for regional money. Dillon Tolbert, coming off of a loss, took him about 2 seconds to say, I would never get this opportunity in my life. I would never get the opportunity to say that I fought one of the best flyweights in the world. He even said to me, the person who holds the fastest knockout in flyweight history, and I'm going to turn that down? Hell no. He's like, he was just like, for him, humble kid. But this was, for him, an opportunity. And I think better than anybody because you have had opportunities in front of you that you took a hold of and benefited from. When opportunity, you grabbed it and it paid off. And this kid is looking for that payoff too. I don't think for him it's necessarily the experience. He's loving the experience of having his name across from yours on the marquee. But let's not get it twisted. He's coming down to win, just like everybody else on this card, man. What do you think? Have you been able to look up any, video on Tolbert? Have you been able to look at his game any? And what do you think about him as an opponent?
Man, hats off to him, man. That's to fight anybody in their hometown that's gone off and done the things that I've done. Just to fight somebody in their hometown, you're coming from out of town. The main event, they're bringing you in to fight this dude. Man, that takes some guts, that takes heart, that takes the will. Of course, this is an opportunity for him to say that he's beat Dustin Ortiz, to say that he fought Dustin Ortiz, he submitted him, he knocked him out, he whatever. That's honestly, I'm not good at this, but that is something to hang your hat on, man. I've been there, I've done that, I've accomplished some things, and what an opportunity. And I have nothing but respect for the guy for 2 seconds saying, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like, let's go. I know I'm not looking past the guy. I know that it's going to be a fight. I know he's bringing the fight. What an opportunity to come in to somebody's hometown, the biggest name of the state for mixed martial arts, and you think he's not going to be training hard? There's no way. I know he's busting his butt. Same, likewise. I know all these things, and that motivates me. You know what I mean? So, nothing but respect for him stepping up, and I appreciate you going, taking that extra mile, that extra step, or however many miles and steps it took to get somebody to agree to fight me. I'm an opportunist as well. I've been saying yes to pretty much every opportunity that's come across my table. It's an opportunity for both of us, and I'm excited. I'm super thankful that he took it. Much respect to the guy. It's at the end of the day, it's a fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna treat him just like everybody else. Go out there and try to take his head off. And the beautiful thing about this for me is it's me against me, and he's just a body in there. You know what I mean? So.
Right.
Winning by any means necessary for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dustin, I know you. It's fight week pretty much, man. When it becomes the weekend, it's fight week. The weekend before a fight. So, I apologize for the technical difficulties there for a second.
No worries.
Technology is great, but you're also at the mercy of technology sometimes. I appreciate you taking the time. I can't wait to see you next week. This is your time right now. We always like to close out. Any friends, family, teammates, sponsors that you want to shout out before we close this thing down, man?
Yeah, man. I'd just like to thank Underground, Valor Underground for this opportunity. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity. Honestly, every fight is just as important as the last, if not more important than the next. So. For me to be able to continue to do this, it's a passion of mine. I love it. Shout out to all my friends, all my family, everybody that's going to be there, all my training partners, Team Elevation out here. Everybody's been super helpful. Steve Swedish, my manager, for setting this up, reaching out, and you guys
and being
thinking of the craziness, going with my craziness. I don't know what I'm going to do from one day to the next, and that's the life I enjoy right now. So just everybody that's been involved, everybody that's going to be working there that night. I appreciate their help there. I know it's going to be great hospitality because that's how Nashville is. I'm ready for the support. I'm ready for the screams. I'm ready to just put on a show and let it all out there and walk away with that belt, man. So all the sponsors, like I said, the gym and the training partners, I mean, it's unlimited. I get encouragement from so many different people that don't even know it. So all the positivity out there, I just appreciate it. And I'm gonna put it all towards this fight, and this is my focus right now is November 20th. So
how long
appreciate
you
it,
home?
Wolf.
How long you staying home
Sponsor.
after the fight?
What's that?
How long are you gonna stay home after the fight?
I was just talking to my brother about this. Right now, I'm planning on until the 30th, but then I got birthdays coming up, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and then 4th of July is just right around the corner.
Yeah.
So
they'll
I
probably
don't know,
keep you.
man.
They're gonna hold on to you for a little while.
Yeah, I plan on just until the end of October or November. But then that turns into me just finding something to do, and who knows, one day at a time, my friend.
Yeah. Well, hey, I know I talked to the coaching staff over at Franklin High School, and I sent them. They asked for the link to buy tickets, so you may have some
Really?
you may have some young men, following in your footsteps that'll be there that night. But head coach asked for the link, sent it over. So I think wrestling season has just started here in Nashville. So you may have some of those young guys coming on down to see the actual man whose name is probably in that room in there. So I hope it's a great homecoming for you. I can't wait to see you. Before we sign off, I've got to give a big shout out myself to Renell Hunt. This is Grandma Finney. Renell Hunt, for some odd reason, Renell tunes in every week to our podcast, and she watches this thing from start to finish. So Renell, from Dustin Ortiz, thank you for tuning in every week and watching this crazy show.
Absolutely.
And guys, we will see you later, man. Dustin, thank you so much. We'll see you guys on our next episode.